and the big question mark over the timeline, given how fast we saw things move today, what are the possibilities that you see here going forward?
Right. So now that the judge has resentenced them to something that makes them parole eligible, Gotti, that's going to set off a whole new process here, where now it's going to move to the parole board to decide. And the parole board is going to take weeks to do this. They have over 100 days if they want to review the file, and they may not be nearly as up to speed as this judge was, or they can take less if they want to. But now the parole board is going to get to decide what to do here. And it's a panel of people, and they're going to be able to figure out what they think should happen. At that point, Gotti, the parole board will make a recommendation about what should happen. After that, we're still not done yet, because then at that point, Governor Newsom gets a chance to weigh in. And he then has at least 2 months, if he wants, to take his time and decide what to do there. If he does nothing, Gotti, and he decides, you know what, I'm just going to say nothing, and I'm going to let the parole board decide what to do here and just let that decision hold, then it could be that they get out, in let's call it 100 days from now. But it's gonna need to go through that process, and that's why it's not going to be that they're just walking free, immediately. This is going to now take a little bit more time, and it's still going to be sort of a long road here while the parole board gets a chance to review the file, and then Governor Newsom gets a chance to weigh in if he wants. And I say if he wants, because he might decide, you know what, a judge has now weighed in, a parole board has weighed in, I'm going to just do nothing, in which case the parole board's decision holds.
Yeah, and I hate to make the California observation, but the last DA, when he broached this, and we saw it in the headlines over and over and over again, and now looking at this timeline that could go as long as the elected people in office want it to, a parole board wants it to. It does seem like it's going to be quite some time. We just saw some family members come out of the courtroom. They are in tears. On one hand, this does look like it is pushing it down the road. Does not look like it was the ruling that Garagos and the brothers were hoping for today. But what are there? Is this a victory for the family in a limited sense?
Yes.
Is this disappointment? Take us through where things stand legally.
I think by any measure, this is really all they could have asked for. Yes, we had heard Mark Garagos, their defense attorney, talking about, they could be sentenced to manslaughter and they could get out tomorrow. That was always a huge long shot. Everybody who had looked at this carefully and had thought about what the realistic possibility thought what the judge has done today was the likely scenario.